Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Vous vous appelez comment?
Alors je m'appelle Marie-Thérèse, mais mon surnom c'est MeToo.
Combien de langues vous parlez?
Alors je parle, on va dire vraiment bien une langue, le français, et approximativement l'anglais. J'ai d'ailleurs des petits-enfants qui vivent en Angleterre avec leurs parents, et un petit peu l'espagnol, car ma belle-fille est espagnole, et je me suis mise à l'espagnol, mais de façon amateur, si vous voulez. Mais j'arrive à comprendre et à parler l'anglais et un peu l'espagnol. Voilà.
D'accord. Est-ce que vous pourrez vous présenter un peu en anglais?
Yes. Hello, I'm MeToo. And now a lot of people says this name because of the movement. And my family is living in England, my son and grandsons.
Yes.
So I go very often in London and England.
I see. Thank you so much. Et si vous pouvez, quelle langue voudriez-vous apprendre?
J'aimerais apprendre l'espagnol un peu plus profondément pour pouvoir aussi comprendre mes petits-enfants quand ils parlent entre eux avec leur mère en espagnol et que je dis « Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Expliquez-moi ce que vous dites. » Voilà.
Est-ce que vous pensez l'espagnol est difficile pour vous?
Non, c'est assez... Les rudiments sont faciles. Si on essaye d'apprendre la grammaire, bien sûr, c'est plus compliqué. Mais l'espagnol est simple et c'est vivant. Hola, ¿qué tal? Muy bien. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup pour votre temps.
Je vous en prie.
Bonne journée,
À vous
merci.
aussi.
Hello. What's your name?
My name is Elena.
Elena. And how many languages do you speak?
Well, let's count.
Okay.
Russian, English, Italian, German, and a little bit Japanese.
Oh, wow.
That's it. But I can say 2 months. 2 months. 1 year at school, I studied
Japanese. Okay.
I'm from the far east of the earth.
Okay.
I'm from Sakhalin Island, so it's near Japan, and so that's why at school I studied Japan for 1 year.
Okay. Wow. Then how did you learn like German and Italian?
So then I studied international relations at the university, and I choose. The choice was between French and German, but that time I don't know that I will live in Paris, so here. So that's why I choose German. I don't know if it was the right choice. So German was at the university. Yeah. And then I go like exchange student to the Italy, so that's why I studied Italy there. But the program was in English.
Okay.
But anyway, French like appeared in my blood.
Yeah.
So and then my husband, I was married in Russia, and he was moved to Paris by work.
Okay.
Can I say that? My English is not my own, so that's why I can have some grammar problems, but you can understand me.
Yes.
Thank you. And so in this year I started in Sorbonne University to study French.
Okay.
But yes, it is very interesting. I can advise to go to Sorbonne University. It's very usable. But for me, so here it's a lot of people who speak English, who speak Russian. I was shocked how many people speak Russian. Yes. And so I have a kid, and every morning we go by bus to crash. And a lot of people speak with me in Russian because so I speak with him, and people hear that and say good morning, so goodbye, and a lot of people who live here, they started in Moscow, they started in Belarus, they started in Ukraine, so and they speak Russian very good.
Wow, that's amazing. Among all those foreign languages that you learned, which do you think is the most difficult for you?
Japanese. It's an absolutely different area. But I really loved it because in Sakhalin Island, so there were a lot of cars from Japan. So
yeah.
that time, so it was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see some, as my mother said, it's pictures for her, but I can understand that it's, for example, it's rich, it's a important car, yes. So you know the name of the car. Yes, and I really love that, and I wanted, so during my life I wanted to go back and continue to study Japanese, but then I was interested in Chinese, so it was like a few months to understand like an introduction, because my sister then she moved to the Gong, and she studied in Chinese.
In Chinese. Okay,
in Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like I can communicate.
Yes.
I don't understand, of course, but ni hao I can say everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you introduce yourself in Russian?
Конечно, да. Добрый день, меня зовут Елена. Я из России. Сейчас я живу недалеко от Парижа, в городе Кламар. И я приехала погулять в парке Люксембург и встретила эту прекрасную девушку, которая представила, что она YouTube-блогер, и спросила, сколько языков я знаю. И так случайно получилось, что знаю я их много. Просто потому что вот, я училась разные, международные отношения предполагают знание многих языков. Спасибо.
Wow, it sounds so cool. I think I can pick up some words like Jardin du Luxembourg and then like
sometimes people said that
Yeah.
Russian it sounds like rude, but when I started German, so it sounds the same, like complicated.
very angry as well.
Yes. My husband he don't speak he speak very good English and
Okay.
Russian, of course.
Yeah.
My kids speak French and Russian because he's bilingual, so he's 2 years old.
Yes.
But with me at home we speak Russian.
Okay.
A crash is French.
Yeah.
But and now it's a period of 2 years when he start to communicate.
Yeah.
And he don't know. Sometimes he speak Russian, sometimes he speak French, and that's why I have to study French, not because I'm living here, because of understand my kid.
Yeah. And if you can learn a new language, what would it be?
I think it's real Arabic.
Oh, why?
Yes, I think it's one step for me to understand all this world, all this earth.
All this population in the world.
Yes, maybe it would be interesting for me to study Spanish
Spanish
because a lot of people these two languages, I think, because Spanish, okay, it's like sounds sometimes a few words Italian, so similar.
Yeah.
But Arabic it's absolutely different. Yes. So that's why next time I think if we will move by my husband to job somewhere to other countries, we can move in any corner of this planet. So I think maybe Arabic it will the second one.
Sure.
Second one after French.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. That's amazing. You speak so many languages. I'm impressed.
Thank you so much. See you. Like,
subscribe.
and subscribe.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bonjour. Vous vous appelez comment?
Romain, enchanté.
Combien de langues vous parlez?
Une et demie, le français évidemment, et l'anglais assez mal, un peu comme la majorité des Français.
Est-ce que vous pouvez vous présenter un peu en anglais?
Yes, I can. My name is Romain. I live in Paris.
Yes.
I like doing coffee during the morning at beautiful Jardin du Luxembourg.
Yes.
And I like meet other people to speak about anything.
What's your favorite place in Paris?
Maybe Saint-Germain-des-Prés.
Ah, okay. Saint-Germain-des-Prés. Is it a park? I forgot.
No, it's a quarter.
Ah, a quarter. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful quarter with beautiful people and beautiful building, beautiful place. Oh.
Yeah.
And I love Jardin du Luxembourg.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a nice place. I mean, your English is good. It's totally understandable.
You understand me? Yeah. Yes.
Donc, si vous pouvez, quelle langue voudriez-vous apprendre?
English.
Oui. Yes.
For a better level.
Yes. No problem. Thank you so much. Bonjour.
Hello.
Vous vous appelez comment?
Je m'appelle Cécile.
Cécile. Et combien de langues vous parlez?
Je parle 2 langues et j'en apprends une en plus.
D'accord. Quelles sont-ils, les deux langues?
Je parle français,
Oui.
anglais aussi.
Ok. Et est-ce que vous pouvez vous présenter un peu en anglais?
Ouais, bien sûr. I'm Cécile, I'm 27 years old. I'm living in Paris now and I'm doing videos on YouTube.
Yes, that's amazing. Me too. And I'm also 27 years old. So,
Oh, great.
ouais, à même âge. Et si vous pouvez, quelle langue voudriez-vous apprendre?
J'aimerais bien apprendre l'allemand. Je suis en train d'ailleurs parce que mon copain est allemand. Et ça serait pas mal que, voilà, pour parler à la famille, aux potes, c'est toujours plus facile.
Bien sûr. Est-ce que vous pensez que c'est difficile d'apprendre l'allemand?
Ouais.
Oui,
Beaucoup.
Parce que c'est la grammaire ou
Ouais, la grammaire est compliquée et c'est une logique qui est différente du français. Et du coup, c'est vrai que c'est une autre gymnastique et il faut pouvoir s'y faire, quoi.
Oui. Est-ce que tu pensais que c'est plus difficile que le français ou?
Ah, ça, je sais pas, je suis pas sûre.
Ouais. Parce que j'ai essayé d'apprendre l'allemand avant et je l'ai raté parce que c'est.
Ah ouais, c'est trop dur.
C'est trop dur.
Ah, ok, plus dur que le français, du coup.
Oui, je pense que oui.
Ah ouais.
Un peu plus, oui.
D'accord.
Oui.
Bon,
Avec la grammaire, peut-être, oui. Mais merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi.
Merci. Bonjour. Vous vous appelez comment?
Cyprien.
Cyprien. Combien de langues vous parlez?
Je parle 3 langues et je voudrais en apprendre du coup 2.
Ok. Quelles sont-ils, les 3 langues que vous parlez?
Le français forcément,
Oui.
l'anglais et
Oui.
l'espagnol.
L'anglais et l'espagnol. Est-ce que vous pouvez vous présenter en espagnol un peu?
En espagnol ça va être compliqué, je pense qu'en anglais ce serait...
Ah, anglais, ok, oui,
Anglais.
anglais.
Me présenter. So hi, I am Cyprien and I'm a student in France
Okay.
and I'm French of course.
Yes.
And I want to learn Japanese and Korean.
Oh, okay. Why do you want to learn Japanese and Korean?
Japanese is because my girlfriend is from Japan,
Okay.
and so to talk with her mother and her family, and I want to live there, so this is easier to learn Japanese.
Okay, and also Korean is because you are interested in the culture.
Korea, I want to live in Korea.
You also-
actually,
you want to live in Korea.
Yeah,
I
I
see,
want
I
to
see.
live and work in Korea. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello guys. What's your name?
Eva.
Eva. And what's your name?
My name is Juan.
Juan. And how many languages do you speak?
And two, Français and Spanish.
Okay, can you introduce yourself in French?
Aujourd'hui, c'est Voudroit et je m'appelle Eva and il est Roi. Et bon, je parle le français en espagnol.
Okay, très bien. And how many languages do you speak?
I speak 2 languages, Spanish, my home language, and English. I don't speak French.
Okay, can you introduce yourself in Spanish?
Yes, of course. Mi nombre es Juan, soy español, hablo 2 idiomas, uno de ellos inglés y el otro mi idioma natal, que es español.
Nice. I think I can pick up some words. Yes, I think so. What languages would you want to learn?
Bueno, aprender francés para mí mejor y bueno, luego la natal que es español, que es normal en el colegio.
Okay, so you want to learn
Spanish or French?
Or French, okay.
She would love to speak a little more French.
Okay, thank you for the translation.
She used to speak more, but
Okay.
when you don't use it oftenly,
lost it.
you lose it.
Okay, and what about you? What language would you like to learn?
Well, probably if I learn a new one,
Yeah.
I would like to be Chinese or Japanese, but they are pretty complicated languages to learn. Well, that would be a desire, but I don't think it will happen.
Okay. Why made you want to learn Chinese or Japanese?
I think there is a lot of people that speaks
Yes,
that
lot of
languages,
population, yes.
and I think when you already know Spanish and English, that are very common languages in the world, those are languages from the other side of the world. They are different. They are not like, they don't come from Greek or Latin sources, so it's nice. It would be a different experience, a nice experience, but it's hard.
It is, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Hi. What's your name?
My name is Giovanna.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay, nice. And how many languages do you speak?
Actually, 3. I speak Portuguese because it's from my country.
For sure.
I had the English classes in school, and nowadays I'm learning Spanish because in the company I work, my boss is Argentinian, so I have to speak Spanish with him.
Okay, can you introduce yourself in Spanish a little bit?
Me llamo Giovanna, tengo 25 años y yo trabajo con guantes, entonces también estoy acá en Francia empezando a mirar lo mercado y que puedo llevar para mi país.
Nice. If you want to learn a new language, what would be?
These days here in France, hearing the language, I thought it's beautiful, but it's very difficult. So if I had the opportunity to learn, I think it would be French.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Salut. Vous vous appelez comment?
Nada.
Nada. Et combien de langues vous parlez?
Alors, je parle arabe, c'est ma langue maternelle.
Oui.
J'ai appris le français, un peu l'anglais.
Ah oui. Est-ce que vous pouvez vous présenter en arabe un peu?
Oui, alors c'est pas l'arabe, c'est l'arabe marocain.
Oui.
Le dialecte marocain. Alors, Smithi Nada, عندي 23 عام وكنعيش هنا في باريس وأنا مغربية.
Okay. What does that mean?
Alors, j'ai dit que je m'appelle Nada, j'ai 23 ans.
Oui.
Je vis ici à Paris et je suis marocaine.
D'accord, très bien. Et si vous pouvez, quelle langue voudriez-vous apprendre?
Alors, le turc. J'aime trop le turc.
Ah, pourquoi?
Je sais pas, c'est une langue qui me passionne parce que récemment, je regarde des séries turques.
D'accord.
Et j'aime bien leur accent et tout. Et, je sais pas, j'aime bien.
Est-ce que vous pensez que c'est similaire à l'arabe?
Alors, j'ai trouvé qu'il y a... Non, c'est pas similaire, mais il y a des mots en commun.
Ah, ok.
Genre, il y en a des mots un peu pareils.
Ok. Merci beaucoup. Merci. Hello. Hello, what's your name?
Ian.
Ian. And where are you from?
I am from Iowa, the United States.
Okay, and how many languages do you speak?
1.5, I would say. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but mostly just English.
Okay, can you share with me some words or sentences you know in Spanish?
Me llamo Ian. Tiene un hombre. It's been a while.
Nice. No problem. And if you are going to learn a new language, what is it going to be?
It would probably have to be either French or German because I am part German. So that I think that'd be pretty cool to learn some German.
Okay. And for French, is it because like your girlfriend?
My girlfriend lives here, and also I'm in Paris right now, so it'd be nice to be able to speak the language of the people here.
For sure. Do you think it's going to be difficult for you or manageable?
I think it would be pretty difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty difficult. It's very different from English.
For sure. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you.
Salut.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Tu t'appelles comment?
Je m'appelle Jérémy.
Ok. Et combien de langues tu parles?
Alors, je parle 2 langues.
D'accord.
Donc, je parle le français et un peu d'anglais. On pourrait même dire 3 parce que j'ai un peu des bases d'espagnol, mais franchement, c'est pas fou, quoi.
Ah, ok. Est-ce que tu pourrais te présenter en espagnol un peu?
Oh, hola, mi llamo Jérémy. Tengo 21 años.
Sí.
Y estudio la geografía en Paris 1, Panthéon Sorbonne.
Ah, très bien. Et si tu vas apprendre une nouvelle langue, quelle langue?
J'aimerais bien apprendre l'allemand et le coréen.
Ouais.
Le coréen parce que j'adore la Corée.
Oui.
Et l'allemand parce que j'aime beaucoup la culture allemande également.
D'accord.
Voilà.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this interview and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.